Okay, this question is from Bobo. You say you have extreme pain in your glutes and your hamstrings after 30 minutes of running, and you're asking, is it still worth it to train? You're going to check out some doctors and have it MRI. Um, my gut says that, right, the body's connected from fingers to toes, so there are a few things that immediately, right, might start helping. You should check out 7 Postures by Kador Ziani, Ziani, on YouTube. He also has a book out called 7 Postures, but he's got hundreds of videos out, and he's going to put you through some ranges of motion, some different stretches that are really going to relieve tension throughout your body, starting from the toes. This is where I think he's the master of, right? This guy's 49 years old. He can still dunk on a 10-foot hoop, right? He's probably one of the most athletic 49-year-olds on the planet, and he shows you the stretches that he uses to stay so young, fit, and healthy. So if you start just emulating, right, checking out these postures, I just noticed that when you start opening up the toe in your feet, then it kind of relieves tension in your foot muscles, in your Achilles, in your calves, and your hamstrings. So I think getting some mobility, strength, and flexibility in your toes is going to actually relieve tension in your hamstrings and your glutes as well. Another thing you could try is hanging, right? This guy Ido Portal says that when you hang from a pull-up bar or a tree branch or a ledge or an overhang, you're gonna align your spine with gravity, and you're also gonna traction out your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, and it's gonna relieve tension from a different direction than the ground, right? Because every time you take a step, right, you're gonna deal with some force from earth, right? The force that you generate from your body is gonna be contact in the ground. So, right, think about how strong monkeys are. All they do is hang, and they're in the squatting position. So if you don't spend any time hanging or squatting, then your body's not going to get a chance to decompress. So it makes sense that after 30 minutes, you're having some tension in your hamstrings and glutes, maybe because you can't deal, your body isn't properly dealing with ground forces, right? That could be an issue. So spending time hanging is going to help decompress your spine, your back, and I think maybe relieve some tension in your glutes and hamstrings. The third thing you could check out is hamstrings and glutes. Pain in the hamstrings and glutes. Right, your quads could actually be, right, it could be an imbalance, right? You might want to check out quads, hamstrings, glutes. If you check out ROKP by Ben Patrick, I think this is something that can help balance out the pain in your glutes and hamstrings, because it's gonna put your body in a restorative position. They say, right, like when you go to take a step backwards, it starts to strengthen your toes, and it's something about the position is magical because it's going to start to restore and regenerate your body. So just search ROKP Ben Patrick. It's essentially just walking backwards, but it seems so simple, but it's actually super powerful the way that it works. So this is something that you could try to do to add as a warm-up, right? A warm-up before you go to play, and it's so simple, right? Like there and back of a field. You could do it walking, you can do it jogging, right? You could use a treadmill if you go to the gym and use a treadmill turned off, walking backwards. Something that might also be helpful, just invest in minimalist shoes. And the reason that might be helpful is because when you have shoes with big soles, right, thick soles, it minimizes your feet to act like the shock absorber, and it stops your ankle from getting a full range of motion from each step. So that means that if you don't have full range of motion in your foot, your body can't, your feet and ankles can't act like a lever, which means that there's gonna be some impact each step that is more than necessary, right? And that could be the cause of that glute pain and your hamstring pain. So just eliminating the sole, like look at the two shoes I have right here. Like both of these shoes, they're minimalist shoes, right? This one, the sole is almost non-existent, and another shoe, sole non-existent, and most of the time barefoot, right? And it's like you want to replicate that barefoot feeling, because then your ankle, right, every time you take a step, you want to be able to absorb that energy, right? Your feet have gone through millions of years of evolution, and you want to allow them to do the things they do. Your feet will actually expand when you take a step on the ground. If you look, you could see it start to expand out a little wide. So feet, right there, the first contact point with the earth, and you got to invest, right? Minimalist shoes cost a little bit of money, but they're 10 times worth the investment. Something else that you can do for the pain, if you have a gym or a sauna by you, they say sauna is so powerful because I read somewhere that it mimics burn victims that the body, since the body thinks it's actually burning, it'll start to create growth hormone, right? So one day of the week you want to spend 30 minutes in the sauna, 10 minutes out, 30 in, 10 out, 30 in, 10 out. So it's 2 hours total, but it's 30 in, 10 out, 30 in, 10 out. Some people don't have that kind of time, so just spend as much, do a little, if you can get a sauna for half an hour, that's better than nothing, and that, that'll relieve some pain. You could try, what else could you try? You could go through a glute just like a traditional, if you got tension in your glutes, you could start doing some of these. So you put the leg up here, and you're stretching here, and I could feel it right in my glute. And the glutes and the hips, they're connected, right? So you want to start opening the hips up as well. And then you could do some of these when you roll backwards. You could do, right, if you spend no time squatting, get into a squat. And cross it over, cross it over, cross it over. Openers, right, openers. Down. Down, down, open, 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 right? This is a whole squat complex. Search Edo Portal squatting or Squat Clinic and Squat Clinic 2.0. Both of those might help build some strength and flexibility, right? So I think if you go through some of those things, they will help relieve some pain and help you build some strength, right? So give those a try, and let's see if we can figure this out. All right, thank you.